In this video I show you how to sew a 3-in-1 bag. Have fun! Fanny is a small practical bag with many carrying options. Depending on the strap length, the bag can be worn either as a casual fanny pack or as a comfortable crossbody bag. You can use it as an elegant clutch when you don't use the strap or as a classic handbag when you set the strap relatively short. The bag closes with a zip at the top and then folds over at the front. This allows you to play very nicely with two different colors or fabric patterns. The combination of one side with faux leather and one side with a patterned fabric is particularly beautiful. Putting the materials together is a lot of fun with this sewing project. Inside the bag has 4 small extra compartments. The size of the bag is good for the most important things, such as wallet, mobile and keys. Fanny can be sewn relatively quickly and is definitely a great project for sewing beginners. I wish you a lot of fun watching and then, as always, hopefully sewing. Here you can see the materials you need for the bag. Twice the main part made of 2 different outer fabrics, twice inner fabric and twice interfacing. Twice the inner pocket, twice zipper ends, a 22 cm zipper, up to 1.3 meters of webbing, 1 or 2 magnetic snaps, a webbing slider, 2 D-rings and 2 carabiners. You will need 2 pieces of webbing that are 5 centimeters long and your long piece that is about 1 meter to 1.2 meters long. If you are using synthetic webbing, you will need to seal the ends with a lighter. This is really super important so that the strap mounts don't tear out later. If you're using cotton webbing, you can neaten the ends with the sewing machine. You can now put the short pieces around a D-ring. Take the slider and thread the long webbing on there, take a carabiner and pull the webbing through there and you can now thread this end through the slider again from above. Fold the end of the webbing down 1 centimeter and then 1 centimeter again. Put the other end of the webbing through the second carabiner, fold the end twice again by 1 centimeter and pin it in place. Sew this end tight enough to enclose the carabiner securely. I simply sew the section twice here so that the seam is really strong. On the other side, you just sew the loose end as you pinned it. And so the strap is already finished. Now we transfer some important points for the next steps. You can either sew the bag with 1 button in the middle or with 2 on the outside. You can already punch out the holes for this on the paper. The position of the inner pocket is also marked. You can cut the corners and fold them inwards. And finally, you can fold the upper crease edge over once. Take your interfacing parts. Lay out the pattern and cut the interfacing line once through at the crease. Lay the interfacing on the wrong side of your outer fabric and iron it on. The interfacing line that has been cut through now exactly defines the future fold edge of the bag. Think about which of the 2 fabrics you want to have later on below and on top. I want the colorful fabric to be seen below later. And that's why I attach all 4 snap fastener parts to this fabric. Use the pattern to transfer the position of the buttons to the wrong side of the fabric. I opt for 2 smaller snaps on the outside. Transfer the cut mark from the button disc, cut the fabric, and then attach the buttons there. Now mark the point on the left and right of the right side of the fabric at the crease edge. The prepared D-rings with webbing go right underneath. The rings are pointing inwards and the webbing ends with the edge of the fabric. By the way, this is a cute place for labels. Sew the webbing on close to the edge. Fold the inside pocket right sides together in the middle. Stick in some clips or pins. Sew the 3 open sides 1 centimeter to the edge, but leave an opening for turning about 4 centimeters at the bottom center. Cut off the seam allowance at the corners and turn the fabric right side out through the turning opening. Shape the corners and iron the seams into shape. Fold the fabric in half and iron the crease so that you can see it straight away. Repeat these steps for your second inner pocket. Use the pattern as a template and mark the position of the inner pockets on the right side of the fabric. Pin the inside pocket there so that the side with the turning opening is facing down so that you can sew it up at the same time. Sew the inside pockets on close to the edge. Then sew the pre-ironed line in the middle so that you get 2 smaller compartments. Now let's take care of the zipper. Lay your zipper with the zipper facing up, and then place the zipper ends, nice side down, on each end. In such a way that the fabric and zipper are flush. Sew the zipper ends onto the zipper with 1.5 centimeters from the edge. You should be able to sew right next to the metal parts with this. Do the same on the side with the zipper, pull the zipper out of the way and make sure to fold the 2 loose ends together well. Fold the fabrics outwards and iron them flat. Take a lining fabric and lay it out with the nice side up. Then the zipper comes with the nice side up and finally an outer part with the nice side down. Pin this root well. Sew this seam with a zipper presser foot. Unfold the fabric so that you can access the other side of the zipper. Lay this side the same as the first. Below the inner fabric with the beautiful side up. Then the zipper with the nice side up and then the second outer part with the nice side down. Pin and sew. Now unfold the bag so that the inner fabric is at the bottom and the outer fabric is at the top. Iron the seam around the zipper nice and flat and away from the zipper. Fold the bag together so that the outer fabrics are right sides together on one side and the inner fabrics are also on top of each other on the other side. Pin the bag like this. When pinning around the zipper, make sure that the seam allowances are folded towards the inner fabric. Sew the 4 sides with 1 centimeter to the edge. Leave a larger turning opening of about 10 centimeters at the bottom edge of the inner fabric. Pull the open corners apart so that the seam is exactly on top of each other and spread the seam allowances flat on both sides. Pin all 4 corners like this. Now sew all corners with 1.5 centimeters to the edge. Trim the seam allowance at the corners, leaving about half a centimeter. Very carefully, also cut down the seam allowance in the area of the zipper. Reach through the turning opening and turn the bag right side out. Shape the corners of the zipper and the bottom corners of the bag. Lay the turning opening neatly on top of each other and close it with a narrow-edged seam in the color of your inner fabric. Put the inner pocket into the outer part and line up the corners on the inside. And the 3-in-1 bag Fanny is finished. Here I will show you briefly how you can set the webbing from very long to very short. The length of the webbing can also be shortened afterwards at the loose end. I have found that a strap length of 1 meter including seam allowance is ideal for me if I also want to use the bag as a fanny pack a lot. But I think it's not bad if you calculate 1.2 meters and try it out for yourself at the end which length is optimal for you. If you have sewn a Fanny and show it on Instagram, be sure to tag our community account at DIY_mode_patterns. There I regularly share the works from our community. I hope you liked the instructions and that you will be part of the next DIY mode sewing project. Until then, I wish you all the best.